Greetings friends, and welcome to the full moon episode of Tarot for the Soul. My name is Carrie Konyha, and this is a weekly energy update, psychic tarot reading, and energy activation for the collective. We've got some exciting energies coming in. We're moving into a super empowering time of year, and I'm really excited to share the insights that are coming through. Before we get into the cards, I want to talk a little bit about some key astrological components that are influencing the cosmic weather that we're experiencing this week, and then we're going to get into the cards. So first, I'm going to talk about this full moon happening in the sign of Virgo. And we also have Venus coming into Pisces just before the full moon. So this full moon in Virgo is very suited to all things having to do with clearing energies away, organizing, cleansing, purifying. This is also the last full moon of winter. So all of us that have been doing that deep inner personal growth work, healing, clearing, this full moon is your last chance to get that big burst of clearing and releasing and cleansing. The next full moon that we have is going to be after the spring equinox, and we have some amazing energies happening around the spring equinox as well, but I'm going to talk about that in a few weeks. But for now, harness the power of your intention this week to do those final deep layers of clearing, cleansing, healing that you've been working on all winter, because now's the time where we're sort of paving the way for dreaming a new dream into being, which is what this Venus and moving into Pisces energy is all about. It's time to dream a new dream. And I'll give you like a little sneak peek at what's ahead. The next new moon that we have in a few weeks is happening in Aries. And so that new moon is gonna be the new moon where we really want to get clear on activating energies, taking actions in regard to those intentions that we set at the beginning of the year. As we're coming into the new moon in a few weeks, this is the time where we're really going to bloom those energies into action. So this next 2 weeks is all about clearing, releasing, cleansing, letting go of those final energy cords or whatever it is that you've been working on. Now is the time to do those final clearings for yourself. And the energy around this full moon in Virgo is here to support us. It's showing up to support that energy. So this is a really empowering time all the way around. Now, today I'm going to be working with my Osho Zen tarot deck. I really love this deck a lot, and honestly, this is the deck that I personally use the most for myself when I'm looking into getting deep, insightful spiritual messages. If you're new here, then let me just say that I work on the evolutionary levels of astrology and tarot. That means that we're using these tools to take a look at how we can work with the energies that are showing up in ways that are supporting our soulful evolution. If you're here watching this video, you resonate with the energy and insights that I'm bringing to my channel, then you are an evolutionary soul, and this is your time to shine. Many of us who are now waking up have lived life up till now as what psychology calls an introverted empath, which sort of translates to mean a disempowered empath. Now, what we're doing here is we're taking those former years of introversion, disempowerment as an empathic soul, and we're gaining awarenesses, learning about practices that enable us to harness the power of our energetic sensitivities as being evolutionary souls, souls that were born at this time on the earth to support global evolution of consciousness. As usual, these messages are significant to all of us collectively, and then we're all going to have our own individual experience with these energies. So let's go ahead and see what wants to come up. First card we're going to look at is revealing insights around the best use of our focus this week as we're coming into this full moon energy. And let's go ahead and see what flipped out here. We've got 2 cards. And the cards are friendliness and compromised, and they're both showing up upside down. I'm going to show them right side up, and then we're going to talk about what the reversals mean. So this is the friendliness card and the compromise card. For those of you who are learning about tarot or how to work with different oracle decks, let me just use this as an opportunity to share a little bit of a lesson for us around how to work with the reversals, because I know that this is something that is a point of confusion or uncertainty for a lot of us. First, I want to say that reversals do not necessarily give any type of message or card a negative slant. Look at things in the framework of gift or challenge. So a reversal can reveal a challenge component to an energy revealed in a particular card, but depending on the card, it could also be a gift. So reversals can reveal challenges. They can minimize the energy of whatever's showing up in a card. It can indicate a delay. It can indicate that the energy that's happening connected to that card is more inward as opposed to outward. But we want to veer away from positive, negative, black, white, all or nothing thinking, and think more in terms of opportunities and gifts, or challenges, or energies to work through. So as we're looking at this friendliness card and the compromise card, both showing up reverse, I'm going to read them together because they flipped out together. And when cards flip out when you're shuffling a deck, that's like an extra important message from spirit. It's something that the universe wants us all to know. Now, the friendliness card is interesting because one of the things that we've been dealing with all year, for a year now, based on, the C word that's been going on, we've had a lot of isolation. We've been separated. And this friendliness card is really about reaching out and connecting on those levels of friendliness, kindness, mutual intersupport of one another. It's about experiencing a sense of connection, belonging, community. It's about doing our part to bring the energy of friendliness and kindness to the world, to exude that energy, to be that person who reaches out and opens up and invites in connection. It's interesting that it comes up with the compromise card reverse, because obviously we've all been compromised on many levels during this past year. Okay, here's a really good example of where a reversal can bring in more of an alleviating energy. When the compromise card shows up right side up, it's a strong indicator that there is the energy of compromise showing up in some way, shape, or form. In the reverse position, that energy is being alleviated. So collectively, all of the ways that we've all experienced a feeling of being compromised, having our well-being being compromised. Now, I'm not talking here about compromising as far as meeting in the middle in regard to an opportunity or a decision or something like that. This is like compromising or feeling compromised in regard to your inherent life vitality, your inherent values and things like that. What's happening now is that we're all collectively and individually reclaiming in whatever areas we have felt compromised in our lives in this past year. We're reclaiming empowerment along those lines. We're finding ways to say, hey, wait, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And it's not about being in resistance or rebellious. It's about just reclaiming, taking your energy back and finding ways to move forward in the energy of openness, connection, support, community, friendliness, and kindness. So this is the best use of our focus this week as we're coming into this full moon, right? So a part of what we're clearing away is where we've had our energies tied up in things that are compromising our vitality and well-being. We're clearing away anything that has left us feeling disconnected and unsupported. We're all going to have our own unique aspect of how this has been playing out in our lives, but now we have the energy to reclaim that so that we can harness the power of Venus moving into Pisces and utilizing that again to dream a new dream. That's what this year is all about. We're all being called to shift into our higher timelines, our higher potentials, shifting into creating a lifestyle where we're thriving through utilizing our deepest soul gifts, talents, abilities, passions, goals, and dreams. We have the capacity to actually actualize those things now. It starts by saying yes to what feels good, to what feels aligned, and saying no to all of those things that have led to a compromised sense of vibrancy in life. So let's look at, in regard to this being a time where we're preparing to dream a new dream, how can we really do that? What energy, space, and consciousness can we all individually embody that's going to support the actualization, the manifestation of these bigger picture dreams and goals that we're all having the ability to shift into now? And let's see what wants to come up here. Feels like it wants to be this card here. Guidance. I just finished uploading this week's episode of Decoding Intuition, and I talk a little bit about how one of the functions of our intuition is to guide us. Don't forget to ask for guidance. Whether you're connecting with your higher self, your inner guidance, spirit, God, universe, cosmic consciousness, quantum field, whatever your thing is, this is a really empowering week to actually ask for guidance. Ask to be guided onto the path of manifesting and experiencing your biggest picture, highest goals, dreams, and ambitions. And as a part of that guidance, maybe also ask to be given the insight, the clarity, the wisdom, the courage, and the strength to follow that guidance. We have to follow the guidance that we ask for, and we have to follow the guidance that comes in order for the energy to come full circle into manifesting. So ask yourself, how am I being guided? And what's the best way for me to take action on the guidance that I'm receiving for myself? And then how can I contribute that to the collective energy that's opening up now in regard to all of us shifting into a higher version of reality? We're still feeling the effects of all of those planets that we've got going on in Aquarius. So although we are still in the age of Pisces, that Aquarian energy is coming in, which is all about the collective. It's about cooperation. It's about collaboration, teamwork. And so how can you contribute to this expanded higher vibrational reality that we're all shifting into right now? Be an ambassador for the light. Be an ambassador for positive change and soulful living. And just feel how good it feels just to be contributing that energy into the world, because as you're radiating that energy from you, you feel the effects of it as you radiate it, right? Higher vibrational experience of reality comes with embodying and being and radiating high vibrational energies. So shift into those higher vibrational energies and see for yourself what the results of that are. I'm going to pull one more card for this week, and it's going to be overall message from the universe. All right, this is the card that flipped. The Master. How can we all shift into our own spiritual mastery? This is a question for you to consider, to contemplate, to have some self-reflection. How can I embody myself as being the enlightened master of my reality? How am I the master of that new dream I'm dreaming into being? How am I contributing self-mastery to the collective in ways that will support a great awakening, mastery as conscious, illuminated, intuitive, aware beings of light, because that's who we are. Again, if you're here and you're resonating with all that I'm sharing on my channel, you are an evolutionary soul. You're here to experience what it feels like to live as an awakened being. As we dedicate ourselves to our path of awakening, as this Master card indicates, we're supporting that energy and being activated in the collective. Let's be the light, lighting the way for ourselves and the collective along the way. Thank you so much for tuning in. Blessings, namaste, and I'll see you in the next video. Much love.